time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, doo-dah, day.
Hello, people. My name is Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Last Man Standing. Let me just address this weather situation. It's raining. It's going to continue to rain for several days. We might get some wind. There's a possibility that is somewhat less than minuscule that there could be a tornado around here. Thankfully, one of the neighbors, 3 driveways up the hill, has a sacrificial mobile home in his front yard. So we're doing good. It's going to get distracted and go straight for that. Lindsay and I are as prepared as we ever are for the yearly set of tornadoes that we would normally get. We have oil lamps, we have candles, we have campfire stove with the bottles of cooking gas. We have a bathtub full of water to flush the toilet with. We've got food, water. Lindsay's filtering water to put into a couple of containers right now. So we've got like 3 or 4 days worth of drinking water. Hopefully, we are some of the least prepared people that this weather emergency is going to affect. I hope everybody else has taken even more precautions than we have, because we live like this every day. So don't worry, it's out of our hands. It is in the laptops of the gods right now. So let me bring on my guests. At the moment, we've got Joe Bachman, we've got Aunt Donna, we've got the lovely Dawn, we've got Joe Dog, we've got
Crazy Uncle Dick.
Richie. I don't know. I almost called you Robert again. I don't know why. And we've got a radar thing from Joe Dog. So let's look at that.
Yeah, it looks like the eye has
not even come on shore as a Category 4.
Yeah.
And judging from the track, and from what I've last heard, it will still be a Category 1 when it rolls through Atlanta.
It wouldn't be the first time Atlanta's been wiped out. Go, Sherman, go. Uh,
But yeah, they're talking about it's going to hit us between 6:30 to 7 in the morning, and it'll still be a tropical storm when it gets to us
so 6:30, 7:30, which morning?
tomorrow morning
Oh,
in the
wow.
morning.
Okay, I wasn't expecting it to get here until Saturday, but
No, it'll be on top of you
in the
probably
middle of the night.
probably in the next 2 or 3 hours.
During the show. Well, drink up, Shriners. Uh, yeah, I am just a little bit flippant. I'm a little irritated at uh, some of the weather broadcasting services, other than the one run by our friend, have been pretty much preaching doom and gloom for a week now. It's been, oh, large rocks are falling from the sky. We're all going to die.
Well, they're
And
talking about a 20-foot storm surge in Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
well, there ain't going to be a 20-foot storm surge in Danielsville, I'll tell you that.
No, there'll be about 8 to 10 inches of rain from the sky.
We get that 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, but you'll have it by lunchtime tomorrow.
That's what I mean. We get that in a single storm 4 or 5
Yeah.
times a year. Um, just, I have been trying to clear all the weather alert bulletins off of my Weather Channel app on the iPad all day long. Soon as I clear 6, 8 more pop up.
Oh yeah, it's
I can't even keep the battery charged because of all these warning, warning. I'm going, damn.
But didn't you say that if they're closing Waffle Houses, that's serious stuff?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
if they close the Waffle House, that's a serious thing.
They've got boarded up Waffle Houses in Tallahassee.
and Warner Robins.
Yep, but that's South Georgia.
It's still
Um,
Georgia.
They just opened a Waffle House today here. Uh, it ain't boarded up. They're expecting a booming business. I don't know if they got a generator or not. If they're smart, they would have put one in. It used to be a bank. Now it's a Waffle House. They, they've got a safe room somewhere. Oh, yes, Grant. Yes, Grant. The Waffle Houses.
So basically, what you're saying is like, what happens to abandoned banks and things up here where they turn into spirit Halloweens? Down there, they turn into Waffle Houses.
Well,
If they're
the
lucky,
one
if
in
they've been
Indiana
really, really good all their lives.
the one in Indiana did turn into an Airbnb, the bank, because that's where I stayed when I went to jeez.
Yeah, and the bank in my hometown of Rossville turned into a year-round Christmas store.
Mm.
Well, if you're coming from the north, 2 exits before the Hallowcon exit, there's a Waffle House there that used to be a Pizza Hut.
Well,
Got
that's
a
an
much better
improvement.
menu now. Yeah, Kitty. I think that video is
So you're,
rather famous.
so you're saying that's where Misty and I and Crow should stop to eat on our way down in.
No, you guys
No,
have to wait because we got to pop your cherry, all of us.
we got to do all 5 of you at once. Same Waffle House.
Five
Talk
cherry-
about running a train.
Mm-hmm.
Chugga, chugga, chugga,
Aunt,
chugga.
leave it to Aunt Donna.
Okay, you guys just got to get it figured out. Do you want your hash browns chunked, covered, smothered? What?
Yes.
I was going to say, I think the answer is just yes.
I think I'm capped.
Capped, smothered. Damn. I
Diced,
just
Covered and
Joe knows it all, don't you?
diced, chopped. Scattered is they're spread out. Ring is they cook them in one of those little round rings, but they look at you like you're from up north if you ask for cooked in the ring.
Hey, if you ask for your
I am from up north.
browns cooked in the ring, you better ask for grits too, so you look normal.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
the dog just came and checked on me. Good grief.
Yeah. Chopped is onions, capped is tomatoes. Hold on. Let me.
no, capped is mushrooms, isn't it?
Capped
Yeah,
is mushroom.
capped is mushroom.
Yeah.
Capped with mushrooms.
Smothered with onions, right?
Yeah,
Covered with cheese,
yeah.
and then which was ham then? That's cubed, isn't it? No, I don't remember.
Okay.
As,
I don't-
as long
I
as they're
don't do
crispy,
cubes
that's all
with
I give a
square
shit
root.
about.
Yeah, really.
And proper crispy, not the, you ask for them crispy and all they do is they flip it a couple extra times and just crisp the outside. I want hash browns. The whole thing needs to have a little bit of a crunch.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Covered is not to be confused with hash brown. Smothered in melted cheese. Chunked is peppered with pieces of diced ham. Diced is with the tomatoes. Peppers means it's well, no, that ain't all of it. Good grief. Okay, here we go. Covered is smothered in melted cheese. Chunked is with pieces of ham. Diced is tomatoes. Peppered is jalapenos. Capped is grilled mushroom caps. Country is a generous dose of sausage gravy on top of it, and all the way means everything.
And
Including chili.
And Joe Bachman, as the Witzman dude pointed out, you will love the hash browns. I don't like hash browns. I love Waffle House hash browns.
Oh, I'm sure I'll love them. It's just so hard to find a place that properly cooks them.
This place does.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I hope they
On
don't.
hash browns.
And I hope they don't clean the grill before you get there.
Oh yeah. All that nice bacon grease.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, some of that bacon grease has been in use for 50 years.
And it's still good.
Hey, they filter it every night.
That's right. It's what I used to do.
They filter it just to get the chunky pieces out.
That works.
Okay.
Yep.
I used to use bacon grease in my pinto beans.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lindsay came in here the other day and said, "I'm going to make you some cornbread, but I'm all out of vegetable oil. You think it'd be all right if I use bacon grease?" And I go, "Yes, dear,
Yes.
that's traditional. Don't use vegetable oil in your cornbread." Oh Lord. And if you are not familiar with grits,
Oh, you're too familiar. Eck.
and you feel like you want to try them for the first time, but you don't know exactly what these things are, and you just watch me and Joe Dog, and just it's like cream of wheat with no sugar, basically.
And
I've never
if you put sugar in your grits, the whole restaurant looks at you.
I've never had grits because I was afraid I was going to eat them wrong and then totally hate them. So I've just never ate grits, if that makes any sense.
Well,
Just-
Carl will
just-
give you a taste of his.
Yeah, just put a
But
He's going to make me kiss
kiss
his
them.
grits first.
do
Hmm?
what?
Is he going to make me kiss his grits first?
No, that'll be for afters.
Yeah.
Or it flows there?
No.
Just
Okay,
put
Carl
a
says
pack
it's
of butter in the grits, stir it up, go.
Yep. If you're feeling froggy, a little bit of salt and pepper. Not much, because there'll be enough salt in everything else.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not
Carl,
a black pepper person.
Carl says it's like hominy. Don't like that either.
I hate hominy, and
Yeah.
I'm from around here.
Grant said cheese grits. Are cheese grits blasphemous?
No,
Okay.
No.
neither are shrimp and grits.
Oh yeah.
Even though that's a bit more
That's
New Orleans
bougie.
style.
That's bougie.
That's what you get when you're taking a vacation and you're going to Mardi Gras.
I'll tell you, Dan, you fuss because it takes so long to get your food, but the shrimp and grits from Aretha's.
Oh.
Mm.
The only reason I fuss is because we were there for 2 hours and didn't even get out of the parking lot onto the porch. I'm going, hell, I could have had 4 meals at the Waffle House in this length of time. And then we went to a Waffle House, and one of the guys with us had a bad gastronomic reaction to the scrambled eggs. I'm going, well, you are from Australia. Maybe they scrambled them in the wrong direction, retrograde.
Okay, I just saw in my emails.
No, Carl.
No,
no.
hominy is something totally different, Carl.
It's poached corn.
Bleached, poached
Bleached, yeah.
corn.
It sounds like something you'd have to eat with lutefisk.
Isn't hominy made of corn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Well, okay then.
Grits wheat.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying grits was corn. Never mind. Never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah, Carl thought so too.
Yeah. There are so many different varieties of Southern foods, and this goes from Kentucky and both Virginias on down, and stops right at the Florida border, and goes out west as far as New Mexico at least. So many
trust
things.
me, there's a lot of that in Central Illinois too. A lot of Kentuckians moved into this area.
Oh, and brought their coal mining camp
The
cooking.
one food I am
with
so
them.
glad has not made it down to Illinois is lutefisk. That can stay in Minnesota.
Yes, it can.
It can stay in Europe for as far as I'm concerned.
I grew up in southern Minnesota, home of the Lutheran churches. There was lutefisk suppers all the time. The only good thing that came out of lutefisk suppers was the lefse.
You're gonna have to translate that one.
Yeah.
Lutefisk or lefse?
Love stuff.
It's a kind of almost like a potato, kind of a potato tortilla.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I can grasp that concept.
Yeah,
I know
it's like,
something similar, but probably not the same.
yeah. Basically, you take potatoes, you cook them, boil them, and you mush them up, and then you make a kind of a batter with them, and then you put it like on a little griddle. They're really thin.
Okay.
Put a little butter on it, or you take butter and salt and sugar and sprinkle that on there and roll it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A tater pancake. Yeah.
Carl
Tater
got
cake.
the concept right. Yeah. Tater
But
pancake.
it's not that thick. It's thin like a tortilla.
Well, I mean, it's the same differences between a pancake and a crepe.
Hey,
Yeah.
I knew growing up, when we had mashed potatoes for supper, we had tater cakes for breakfast.
Leftovers do not exist for long.
Hmm.
I grew up in a family of 5.
There are starving children in Europe. No, wait, that's supposed to be China, but
The problem is they put me and my brother side by side. He's left-handed, I'm right-handed. Guess how?
I love candy.
well, at least you didn't get in each other's way.
Yeah, you do.
Depends on which side you're on.
Yeah, really, you swap sides.
My brother was on this side, and they thought we were just aggravating and fighting and playing. I go, no, he keeps elbowing me while I'm eating.
Well, I'm sorry, Witsman dude.
Chocolate and your chocolate right into my peanut butter. Why? If you've ever seen me go to a restaurant, if you go to a restaurant with me, I always pick the left corner or the very left side because I'm left-handed and I don't want to fight with people.
Well,
So
if
if
you
you
ever
ever
watch me walk into a Waffle House and sit down, I'm always facing the door.
I've only been at a Waffle House with you once, Joe Dog, and yes, you were facing the door.
Yep.
I
We
watched
went
too
to
many
Hallowcon.
westerns as a child. If you couldn't tell, never like my back to a door. Sorry,
You never sit with your back to a door.
or a plate glass window.
Well, Waffle House is plate glass.
It's nothing but plate glass.
You don't have a choice there.
You're either got your back turned to the counter or a plate glass window.
Or you have your back turned to me, but John won't do that anymore.
I think I'm safer with my back turned toward the counter.
John's gonna make you sit in his lap from now on. That's the safest way.
You can't sit
You
with
get
your back
smart.
to the counter. The booths are so you're at the side of the counter.
Yes.
Oh, trust me,
But that-
I can arrange that.
There is one booth that has your back to the counter.
2 of them or 3 of them. The one that's kind of by the bathroom, with the ones the Waffle House we've been to.
Okay, so technically, yeah.
It
'Cause
just
Dan
depends. It just depends on what
I see what
variety
you
of
mean.
L shape it's built in.
Because where we sat down, and that was the low bar too. I've been at Waffle House now 3 times. 3 times.
And they set you by the low bar.
They didn't set the bar very high for Donna, Carl, and I.
Oh,
I wouldn't have put it that way, honey.
and just to get this in, anybody that tunes in or whatever, if you're coming to Hallowcon, you got 4 days to get in at the pre-reg rate. Then they're going to $75 on Tuesday.
What's pre-reg rate? 45.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you putting
Bless you,
something?
Joe Dog, you all right?
You do what?
Are you all right?
It was just the watermelon fighting back.
Oh, I understand.
Are you putting something in the Hallowcon page, or would you like me to put something there?
Chris is.
Okay.
You and Chris can arm wrestle for the privilege.
Um.
Well, if you don't want
He'd
to,
like
I will.
that.
Why arm wrestling when Jello wrestling is so much more fun?
True.
Depends
You're
on
not
the
going to be
opponent,
able
I
to talk.
suppose.
You're not going to be able to talk Chris into Jello wrestling.
Well, that's what I said. Depends on the opponent, I would suppose. I don't want to. I honestly, and I love you guys to death, but I do not want to see Rich and Chris Jello wrestle.
Nah.
I was forced to do it once.
Oops.
It was my initiation for drama club.
Oh,
You were young and he needed the money.
Dynasters were pulled out of the wall because me and my opponent figured out what the hell was going on, and we tried to make our escape. He pulled the banister out of the wall. I was tackled halfway across the lawn.
Guys, this storm just got serious.
They closed the second Waffle House?
No, Jim Cantori's broadcasting from in front of a closed Waffle House.
Well,
No, Rich,
Ice cream, we're good.
that's
there are going to be fewer Florida men videos because there's going to be fewer Florida men.
No, their videos will get uploaded still.
Is
somebody will
Cantori
find their
actually
cameras.
broadcasting in front of the closed Waffle House?
No, but he's down there. But yeah, you know when Jim Cantori shows up, everybody leaves.
Yeah, I know Cantori was always bad news.
Yeah, and
I'm just-
of course the big
No
thing
pun
going
intended.
out. The big thing going out now is everybody remember shirts, bras, and teeth.
Not necessarily in that order.
That's right. If you got any of those on, you're not getting on television.
Don't worry, they're all in the backpack.
I'm just waiting for the mandatory video of a little old lady in a rowboat going, "Oh, it's so deep. Can you help me save my cat?" And then 3 teenage boys walking ankle deep behind her.
Well, now I did see when I was coming home from the medical place, there was a convoy of those tour bus campers.
Yeah,
All of them had Florida tags.
and they were headed north.
They were headed up to the campground here in town.
Mm.
So yeah, they just didn't come far enough north.
And
I hate-
tomorrow on the Chattanooga News, fallen trees crush Florida campers.
Well, the thing is, the only place in the direction they were headed is the campground called Chester Frost Park, and the only thing left is lakeside spots.
Somebody's going swimming.
And they're calling for 10 to 12 inches here. So, yeah, I've been camping up there when it floods. No.
Makes
But
me
yeah.
glad I live on top of a hill.
Mm.
Really.
Dan, the top of the hill that I live on is 300 feet above the river.
Yeah.
Okay. The river is 600 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
Come on, global warming. I've got an island. I got a tropical island.
No, the closest creek to us would have to rise about 500 feet to get into my yard.
Yeah.
And one of my next door neighbors, their house would be underwater. Hey, Kiri.
Hey,
Hey,
Gary.
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 Nice.
Let's see,
Yeah.
I'll just keep that down there just in case we get anybody else joining the channel.
Well, I'm gonna open up a spot, so I'm gonna tap out for the night.
Well, Thesis
Okay.
is joining us, so
And I timed it just right, so I'll leave and Thesis can jump in.
okay.
Good night,
Air dog.
Good
Yeah,
night.
good luck.
Appreciate it.
Damn, 3 times.
Hey, Thesis.
So,
You know.
so Kiri, I know you're a fellow computer nerd.
Uh-oh.
Are you interested in getting any of your Cisco certifications?
Cisco's not necessarily. I'm more interested in CompTIA.
it never hurts to have both. But the reason I bring it up is Humble Bundle has a Cisco certification prep. It is $25 for 19 different titles, and there's still 17 days left in that bundle. So, figured I'd throw
I'll
that
have to
out
give-
there in case you weren't aware of Humble Bundle and that current bundle.
I'll have to think about that.
That jarred my memory. There was something I saw the other day. Somebody was trying to promote a news flash saying that Fortran may be coming back.
Fortran never left.
That was my impression, but then, I'm rather computer ignorant when it comes to programming languages. So evidently, people are starting to use it more and more. I don't know. I didn't understand. It was way above my IQ level, so I didn't understand what they were talking about, but made for a great headline.
Now I gotta see if I bought a previous Pratchett bundle or not, because there's also a Terry Pratchett bundle out there.
Ooh. There's one or two of those that are not on ebook yet. I mean, I've got everything in either paperback or hardback or both, but having it on my Kindle is much more convenient to the way I'm able to read nowadays. I seldom can actually sit down with a physical book and enjoy it, because it seems like every time I open a book, a real book, somebody finds something I have to do right then. Or wants to sit there and have a conversation with me while I'm trying to turn pages.
I know that feeling all too well.
Oh, there was one guy at work that found he should consider himself lucky that he wasn't wearing one of the break room tables as a necktie. It's every time I went on break and opened a book to read, he decided he was going to sit down and talk to me. What part of reading is a solitary pursuit did he not understand?
All of it.
What y'all doing, reading? No, actually, plotting your murder.
He didn't even ask what the book was about. He just come and talk about whatever. And I'm going, dude, I'm either going
Does this look infected to you?
to have to start taking my break somewhere where you don't, or we may have words.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
That'll get you talked about at work. Whatever meaning of whip this out you mean.
Like he's not talked about already.
Mm. Carl, you are taking your life in your own hands. Have to talk to Donna while she's reading, or I'd never talk to her.
Okay. So
I think that deal has just been accepted, Carl. Shut up.
So I have one of those book stands where you put recipe books on. So, but since I don't cook, I don't use it for recipe books. It's by my place at the table with the current book that I'm reading. And yes, I am reading while we're eating lunch or dinner.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I do pay it. I listen to what he's saying. Well, it depends on what he's saying. If I'm listening or not.
If you've
But I
already heard
do.
it twice, you're not listening anymore.
But I do pause and comment once in a while. I mean, what more could he want? My mother, my mother tried to get me to quit reading at the table. She forbade me to have my book on the table. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there like this over the side of the table, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm reading. Had the book open on the floor, and she says, "Okay, you can bring your book up on the table." There's just some battles, y'all ain't gonna win with me.
hmm My parents had to get used to me having at least one book open and in the middle of in every room that I used in the house, plus two in the truck because I had to go someplace and wait. And I'm not just going to sit there and look out the window for 4 hours. I'm going to go through this paperback. And if I get to the end of it, I'm going to need another paperback. So,
Hmm.
might as well put me a bookshelf in the truck.
As much as I don't like Kindle, I'd rather read a book. I will do Kindle if I know, like, when I come down for Hallowcon, I'll bring my Kindle with. And the only time I like it is because it's unlimited. I don't have to worry about taking, an entire set of books with.
Mhm.
Otherwise,
I love how you think you're gonna have time to read this year.
I will. I have to, on the plane.
True.
That'll
Yeah.
probably be the limit.
Oh, you're very sweet, Witzman, dude. He doesn't mind my reading. But Mom
Yes.
had to admit that it was her fault as much because we were tenant farmers, meant we didn't have any money, but she always made sure that when the book club flyer came around, there was enough money that I could get as many books as I wanted. Granted, they were only like 90 cents at the time, but I was that kid that after the teacher passed out all the other books, she put the box
Put
of
the
books
box
down.
on your desk. Yeah.
And since Mom had encouraged me, she really couldn't bitch that I was reading
That's
at the table.
that's one reason why I have so many books now, and some of them have very low cover prices. Uh,
I still have all of the ones I got in grade school.
yeah.
Read them once in a while.
There was a series that I read grade school through, junior high. It was called Sleepover Friends. And when my parents had the flood, Mom found all those books. We still had them, and they were up high enough so they didn't get wrecked by the flood. So she's
Oh,
pulled them
That's
good.
out.
good.
Yes.
I'm excited. I get those at Christmas. Mom goes, Christmas present?
I
Sure.
wonder if my mom still got. I wonder if my mom still got the copy she and Dad used to have of Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained. I know it's Milton. I know he's boring, but um,
Not really.
his wife thought he was. Um,
Wives
but
tend to be that way.
So Ted is wanting to go to bed, which I completely understand. So, but I wanted to stop in and say hi to everybody.
okay,
Hey,
thank you.
My southern friends, stay safe.
We will.
Thank you, Don.
Yes, please be safe. Oh, Joe, by chance, did you get the second one done for Furball?
No.
Okay. Are you going to have those done by Sunday or not?
It depends on when the wood comes in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you had to order new wood.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get a week from confusion.
I hate it when that happens.
That's so cool. By the way, I did tell Dad to tune in because he was busy doing stuff, and he goes, "Oh my God, that's so cool!" And I said, "There's gonna be one for Rescue 550212 and 550212 also." And
Empire. Sorry.
550-2112.
Remind me not to let this lady write down my zip code.
It's rescue 55021, and Joey is going to burn them like the Furball Farm one. There. Did that make sense?
Sure.
You shouldn't talk about arson live on the air. That could be bad.
Talk about it. Joe does it.
Especially when I use the acetone.
I still couldn't believe that. You let it dry, but make sure it doesn't start on fire. It's flammable.
It's not exactly one of those bottles that you take into the bathroom with you when you forget your phone to read the label.
Okay, I'll give you this as women, or as a woman. I don't know. I can't speak for Donna. It's
And
something
besides-
I always knew because it was one of those things my mom would. It was the 80s. She would smoke and do her nails and say, make sure that I put my cigarette over that. She would make sure the cigarette was far away from her when she was taking the gold polish off.
And besides which, acetone is one of those things when the fumes get in the air, you kind of get absent-minded about little details like reading or fire prevention or
So, well, good night, everybody.
breathing regularly.
Good night,
Good
Dawn.
night, Dawn.
Good night.
Ah. Well, I'm going to have to run down the hallway all of a sudden. Don't know why.
Gonna
It's been
leave the
raining all
headset
day. I
on?
haven't been able to do anything. Well, I did go grocery shopping. So, yeah. Lindsay has made her traditional English Christmas cake. And she is going to have to spend the next few weeks dribbling little tots of brandy around the cake so that it can soak in. I think she had the fruit for the cake. It's kind of like a fruit cake, only this one actually tastes good. And nobody wants to get rid of these. Anyway, it'll have brandy dribbled over it once or twice a week until around Christmas when we start eating it. I don't know if she's going to go with the fancy frosting. She went all out one year, had little plastic trees and a Santa and everything on this snow white frosting on it. And
So, I'm going to ask the question that I know is going through Rich's head right now. Is it hard to keep brandy that moist to be able to, drizzle her over the cake?
it's hard to keep brandy, period, but no.
I think she would not want to be over the fruitcake if it was that. Oh, sorry, different type of fruitcake.
Yeah.
I was
Evidently,
thinking one that's running for office.
evidently the brandy keeps the cake moist to an
And Dan
acceptable
keeps
level
going
of
right
moist.
on. We are not dealing with Rich's exit. Nope, screw that. We're going straight off.
Really. And while I'm down the hall, you're in charge, Richie.
Oh shit. I mean,
No, you had that right.
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
Yeah.
Fuck with me,
Oh,
I dare
sorry.
you.
oh. Okay, he's still got the headphones
Sorry,
on.
I prefer tacos than over sausage. Sorry. Anyways, so first on the agenda, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
12.
Banana.
Purple because aliens don't wear hats.
Chuck is very proud of his wood, so he won't let a woodchuck chuck it.
So should we tell Dan that we heard him in the bathroom?
I think he still has the headset on, so
Yeah.
he
Oh, yeah.
can hear us plotting against him.
And if we're lucky, we'll make you miss like Don and I did one night. Let's see, what can we do to make Dan miss? Oh, hey Dan,
I think
don't
no
spray
one will
there.
make Dan miss.
Well, thank you, Foxy. I'd do my best.
I'm not going to risk it because I'm not going to risk the first meeting of Lindsay being angry at me for Dan missing.
No, he cleans it up himself, so she'll think it's funny. He's well trained.
Dan. Dan. Oh, Danny boy.
Glad I remembered what bookshelf I hung the microphone on.
I just read something on Facebook that I so want to reply and be a smartass. What's the one thing your ex gave you that you still have? I want to write herpes.
Oh, my divorce papers. Thank God. Although in the case of the first one, I'm still waiting on our death certificate. I'm not believing it until I get a copy. I don't care where her urn is. I do not want to know. I'd have to get a 55-gallon drum of Ripple and go and reconsecrate that. But no, I'm a gentleman. I won't. But don't tell me, otherwise I'll be tempted. Very tempted.
You just hope I'm asleep the other hour, Witsman dude.
Oh. Yeah, I got halfway down the hallway and I realized I had failed to turn the microphone off, so I figured nobody wanted to listen to me in the smallest room of the house. So I hung the headset on my bookcase in the hall.
If we had, you know what you would have been hearing.
Not a lot. Oh, good night, Grant.
Good
Hey,
night.
Good night, Grant.
Hi, Grant.
What are you doing drinking rye? Just for a change?
That's what he has in his office.
Is it something that Carl actually likes, or just a change, or what?
It's something new that he saw in the clearance aisle at Meijer. So he thought he'd give it a try, which is the same reason he had jalapeno flavored margarita, already mixed margarita stuff.
That one might be a step too far for me.
He says it's pretty good. I'm like, that's fine. I think he saved some for you, Joe.
I was wondering if he just wanted to be a good old boy because the levee was dry.
I'm sure there's not a chance in hell of that this weekend.
Not even up here.
There ain't no levees anywhere in the eastern United States that are going to be dry this weekend. Of course, a couple of them may break, and then you know what that means. Another 10,000 Led Zeppelin albums get sold.
Kentucky straight rye whiskey pre-prohibition style.
Now that does sound good. Don't.
Now with more rubbing alcohol. Oh wait, no, pre-prohibition. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, if it was prohibition, it'd have the Canadian rubbing alcohol in it. Sorry, Zach.
How many gallons is that?
I can't find that on my conversion calculator. I don't know if it's imperial or metric or
5 Canadian gallons.
it says that's 17 geese.
Now, are those nice Canadian geese or horrific Americanized Canadian geese?
Watch some of the canal boat videos over in England. There is no such thing as a nice Canadian goose.
Zach keeps insisting up there they're nice.
Canadian geese will argue with swans. And swans are like one step down from a fire-breathing dragon.
I have seen Canadian geese stop semis in their tracks, daring them to run over them. Those are
I'm probably going to get the ASC, whatever crap it is. Humane Society called on me for this one, but I see those suckers in the road and the accelerator starts climbing.
Oh, I had a scary moment the other day on the way to the store. I'm driving up the road. A white-tailed hawk ducked down in front of the car where I couldn't even see it and finally came up right next to the passenger side fender and flew off. And I'm going, oh, God, don't let me hit that. That's a beautiful bird.
So you only hit ugly birds?
No, try not to hit any. Try not to hit any.
At least you didn't damn near get a heart attack, because I was coming back from dropping Foxy off at work one day, and there was a big black something in the road. Didn't know what the hell it was, but it basically spanned the entire road. And I thought one of the kids lost their hoodie or something, and I get about this close, and a big-ass black bird just flies right over top of my windshield. Like, holy shit, what the hell was that?
I was a child of Mothman.
And that was a demon bird.
We had one. I don't know what kind of bird it was. It didn't have a bare neck, so I don't think it was a variety of buzzard. But it was huge, sitting on a fence post across from my driveway. Across the road from my driveway. Had its wings out, just flapping a little bit, sunning itself, just having a grand old time. A couple of cars went past it, just stood there. It didn't move. I'm going, bird, this is the South. You see the bullet holes in that school bus sign? You taking your life in your hands, standing there like a big target. Anyway, it finally gracefully flapped up in the air. Wingspan must have been about 4 feet. It was a big old bird, but I don't have the faintest idea what kind it was. I've seen all sorts of things around here.
Yeah, Carl's referring to the time we stopped on I-74 to rescue a snapping turtle on the highway.
Yep.
Them suckers have long necks.
Yeah, they do. You got to grab them way back on the shell to keep from getting bit.
Oh, either that or when they reach back, go, ah!
Throw them the rest of the way.
Fortunately, there was a puddle
Learn
in
to
the
fly. Ah! Oh. Oh, I saw a YouTube video. The title of it was, "Do cats just walk up to you that you never seen the cat before in your life? Do they just walk up to you and want to be petted?" And I'm going, name an
Yeah.
animal that doesn't do that to me.
That's how we got Calvin. He just ran up to Carl and said, "Take me inside."
Save me, Daddy. Carry me. Oh.
Hold on, take me away.
Oh. My dad used to be able to, we'd be walking through the woods and he'd hear a crow call. He'd start calling right back at that crow and get it to come and perch in a tree over our head. And I'm going, that must hurt your throat making that noise. And then I learned how to do it. Yes, it hurts. It definitely hurts. I don't think I could do it anymore.
It's a lot easier to talk to Bob Whites.
Oh, yeah, if you can whistle. Haven't been able to whistle since I got my dentures. Did not
You
know
okay,
that
Joe?
was a free weapon.
Getting tired.
Oh, I'm
Been a
sorry.
long day. No, it's
Yeah.
just been a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering why Joe Dog didn't start this at 9 o'clock since there wasn't a stupid o'clock tonight, but I guess he just, we'll do it at the traditional time. Doesn't matter. I do hope everything is going to turn out well there in that situation.
Me too. Hoping everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's a medical thing, so you know, best not to belabor it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then why'd you bring it up?
'cause I'm worried.
I love you, Dan. We're all worried.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause I think I know what it might be.
Yeah. And the second reason is because I can't keep my mouth shut sometimes.
I wasn't going to say anything about that.
That's okay. I get told about that all the time.
So you're worried that the filters being installed aren't going to take and are going to become projectiles instead of.
You have no idea what images that just popped into my mind.
No, I'm pretty sure.
From the looks on his face, I think he does.
That video would leave a scar on your soul.
That was the imagery I was going for.
Night Witsman, dude.
Good night,
Good night,
Carl.
Carl.
Yeah,
Good
wimp.
night, Carl.
He eats one wrong burrito, and it's like the CD gun from Was it We Come in Peace?
Oh yeah, the
I think it was Dolph Lundgren.
No, thanks for the warning.
it was actually the guy from the soap operas, the one that played fellow with the eye patch. I think it was on Days of Our Lives. He's still on there. Um, he was very grateful to be doing something that wasn't a soap opera, and he didn't have to wear an eye patch. You are talking about the movie where they were harvesting human endorphins for alien drug running, right?
Apparently, the name of the movie has been changed to Dark Angel. And it's Dark Angel, I Come in Peace now. But yes, Dolph Lundgren and I'm not sure who else was in it, but Dolph Lundgren played a cop.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Who
And
plays
the-
peace?
I'm not
Sorry,
sure
was
if
that
I
Jada?
I didn't hear. I was busy smooching.
I don't think she was credited. No, the only thing I found remarkable about that movie is the space gun was a Calico M950 rigged up to pretend to be a machine gun. I had a Calico M950. It looks like a space gun.
But yes, apparently somewhere along the line, they renamed the movie to Dark Angel. Weird.
Yeah. Especially when it's been on cable for 17 years or something. Which is where I think I saw it the first time, was on cable. That lets you know how long that was. It's got to be over 40 years. Yeah, over 40 years ago. MTV was still playing music videos.
That does say a lot.
That's ancient history right there.
Unfortunately, yeah.
High school, and I was almost graduating, but I was still in school.
I still never got the hang of writing in cuneiform. Looked like a bunch of chicken tracks to me.
Oh, you mean like Carl's writing?
Oh, does Carl have doctor's writing?
Yep.
Only he can read it. And,
Actually,
and one nurse.
Actually, I can read it. And the strange thing is, I can read it because I'm out. No, I'm still here. Y'all went away. There we are. His writing is just exactly like my mother's writing. It just, if it wasn't for the fact that my mother didn't know how to spell and use grammar, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So after so many years of reading her writing, his writing is easy for me to read.
Oh. Dad had beautiful cursive writing. I mean, it looked like it came straight out of a textbook. It was just absolutely gorgeous. Every letter perfect, everything. And I'm going, how do you do that?
You take your time and you learn it.
It must have been a 1930s thing when he was in school. They paid more attention to teaching cursive back then. I just had to. All I had to worry about was getting my hand slapped for being left-handed. Second grade teacher, that was a nightmare. Steel ruler type. did not allow left-handed people. That's why I'm neither dexterous today.
You're selfish.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
Neither.
my brother Dave almost had that problem, but when he came home and told Mom that the teacher didn't want him writing left-handed, she went to the school, read the teacher the right act, and David was allowed to write left-handed.
I believe I kept it to myself. My parents didn't find out about it until probably I was in high school.
Well, the fun thing is, he was a mechanic when, and you try using tools made for a right-handed person with the left hand. Yeah, there's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I developed an equal dexterity with either hand for working on cars and stuff. Given that left-handed wrenches were kind of rare where I grew up.
I don't think they make them, do they?
I don't know. I think they're in the
Now,
cabinet
nowadays,
right
probably they
next
do.
to the. I think they're in the cabinet right next to the brass magnets.
Nowadays, they probably do. They probably also make like left-handed boxer shorts.
I will neither confirm nor deny that.
Oh, thank you for giving me that image, Richie.
Why? It's
the last thing I.
It's no different from a shirt that buttons from the other side, and then you.
That's not the image I have.
No, that's not the image you have. I'm
He's
trying
my
to
big brother. That's as bad as I asked my sister-in-law. I said, I love my brother and all, but what do you see in him? And she gave me this little smirk. And this my sister-in-law's, well, she used to be a bit of a prude. She's getting worse in her old age. She gave me this little smirk and says, "You obviously haven't seen him with his pants off." And I'm like, no, no.
That would be commando, not boxers. So
now I have the image of my oldest brother being conceived on the back of a horse, and my younger brother using his left hand. Thank you, Rich.
It just meant the flap in the underwear opened on the other side, not the back, the other side.
No.
Now, what's the percentage of people in the world that are left-handed? Something like 17%.
Oh, it's gone up.
Yeah.
No, I'm just guessing.
I thought I was always told it was like 10% or something.
Well, it could possibly have gone up because we're allowing people to be left-handed.
This is
since
true.
Since the 60s and 70s.
Well, since the 70s.
Okay, Foxy says 10.
10 to 12.
10 to 12. Okay. Well, my parents knew something was up when they handed me a rake or a hoe in the garden, and I'm going at it this way for a little while, and then I'll swap hands and go the other way, and that's left-handed, and I'm going. Nobody complains when I swap hands with a pool cue, except the people who thought they were going to take my money.
Yeah, those people get a little pissy sometimes.
Yeah, I figured you'd get that reference.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, I play all sports right-handed. If I try and shoot left-handed, I look like an absolute beginner.
No,
So, Dan, why are you going at it in the front yard with a hoe in front of your parents?
It was a different time.
It was so dark. There were so many.
Had to audition them somewhere.
Oh, no, when
Might
I
as-
was
Might as well
in
be in
college,
front of the entire church congregation. Who knows?
you were talking about making people mad by winning at pool. We had a couple pool tables in the student center at DAC, and one of the guys I used to play with was an Arab with only one eye. He had an accident as a child, and so he only had sight in one eye. And everybody would look at us and go, "Yeah, let's take them on." Um, for one thing, only having one eye made it easier for him to line things up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and should I mention, I had a pool table in my basement at home. Yeah. We made a couple of enemies. Oh, hello there. I just kicked the cat.
I had friends. We were only playing for fun, but I had friends that would delight in trying to set me up with a impossible shot, playing 8-ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd walk up there and look at it and look at it, and then I'd swap the pool cue over to my left hand and go ahead and make a good try. And they go, "How did you learn how to do that?" And I go, "Steel ruler teacher, 2nd grade. You should try it sometime."
Yeah. I used to be able to write with my left hand back when I was a kid, except for one thing. You know, when you write right-handed, you're writing from left to right.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote right to left when I was writing with my left hand, and everything would be mirror image.
Yeah. That's how we found out my little brother was dyslexic. He'd be writing stuff down, and about every third letter, he'd write it perfectly, but it would be backwards. And you pointed out to him, he couldn't notice it.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Trouble is, he's a genius, the little bugger. It makes me look like I'm an idiot. Of course, that's not difficult, is it?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
We thought the artistic gene had skipped him in our family. And then about 3 years ago, 4 years ago or so, he picked up oil paints and a paintbrush for the first time in his life and started doing work as good as Mom has been doing all her life. And I'm just looking at him going, I hate you. I am so jealous. He made it look effortless. And here I had to go to school for it and get lessons from Mom to be able to do stuff like that. Of course, I did have little triumphs here to there. Dad could make anything. If you gave him a machine shop, the raw materials, and a blueprint, he could make anything. But he couldn't think pictorially. If you tried to describe something to him, that you could draw it out and he would understand it, but he translating a verbal description into a picture in his mind he couldn't do.
Yeah, I guess for math, Misty and her siblings were taught to use a mental blackboard.
Mm-hmm.
And Misty can't picture the mental blackboard to save her life. Me, when I'm sitting there trying to think of something, I'm like, it feels like a combination of the scene from a Dreamcatcher with the guy that's got the mental warehouse, several different variants of Sherlock Holmes, and Tony Stark's virtual computer from the Marvel movies. Because I'm just sitting there going, okay, that goes there. People look at me all the time like, fuck is he doing? Is he conducting an invisible orchestra?
Yeah,
Nope.
but don't you think that kind of goes along with being a writer,
It can.
Well,
It can. If you substitute a drawing for paragraph structure
Hmm.
or chapters, this would go much better over here. And then this one, oh no, that needs to be split in 3 parts and mixed into this paragraph right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I know when I write a story, I'm seeing the movie as
yeah,
I'm putting it down, and I think that's what helps us. Like you say, you're seeing it the 3D.
mhm.
it actually helps your communication skills to be able to describe the movie that you see in your head. If you can put it into words well enough that somebody else can see the movie that's in your head, you're doing really good.
I'm getting ready for the 15th book put out, so I must be doing pretty well.
Well,
Yeah.
Yep. In the
I
hands of
would
the,
agree.
it's in the hands of the editor and the 2 beta readers. And it's the beta readers that are making me more nervous than the editor.
I think I may have figured out how to get around the writer's block in the fantasy story now. It's just a matter of going, dump the preconceived notion, let it flow. I'm looking forward to getting through with that one so that I can get on to other stuff. It just drives me crazy that it stalled out right there. They quit talking to me. The characters would not tell me another word. And I've been frustrated ever since. I have finished other things since then, but I really want this one done. I don't often write fantasy. It's a slightly different rule book,
Mm-hmm.
but as long as the internal consistency is there, it's not just random shit. It has to have its own string of logical statements, basically.
Tell me about it. That's why it took 20 years to get Dragons and Wizards written.
And you can't cheat. I mean, you've
But I
got the
did.
entire you've got the entire world in your head. You know how it's supposed to go. And you can't go, oh, I want to finish this. I'll just no, that doesn't work. It won't let you let it work. If it's not flowing, if the movie has turned into a slideshow, it's not going to be anywhere near as good when you write it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can still take that slideshow describe that out, and then that can help you build the pieces to turn it into more.
I think that's how people write outlines. Is they're basically writing the slideshow, just little freeze frame bits. I don't know. I can't write outlines.
Hitting the major beats, yeah.
I have to start with the narrative hook and just keep going till the story's over. I don't know where any of it's going. I can't plan for anything to happen. It just butt in chair, fingers on keyboard, whatever words flow out of my fingertips is what the story is. A good editor might be able to help me turn it into something worthwhile, but you know, I can't
Check out
work
my
in
narrative
either
beat while my editor revolves it.
way.
Yeah.
I'm going to hell for that one.
Somebody is.
All right, who am I kidding? I've been going to hell for a long time before that one, but still.
At least
Hey,
you'll
Even
be
though the other
Step.
one's forgiven.
Trying to get in a fist fight with the doctor just before you die. That way you wind up in Valhalla.
Yep.
Yeah, Foxy, just for that one. There's several.
I'm sure there are other instances we don't have time for.
All I've got to do is make sure that if I'm in the hospital, I get into a fight with one of my sisters, and they'll gladly take me out.
I don't know. You're gonna have to
This
be.
is for that time when you were 5.
You're gonna have to be in really bad shape for them to be able to take you out now.
No, Brenda is still vicious. And Sheila's had some medical training, so at least she knows how to use alternative engineering to get the job done, because cheating is an ugly word.
Just remember, anything a human being can touch can become a weapon.
And sometimes you don't even need that.
Isn't that right, Thesis?
Uh-huh.
That is why I got in so much trouble in grade school and junior high and high school and
You
anywhere
hit him
that
with a Volkswagen?
I can't keep my mouth shut when I see no weapons allowed. It's like, those are just tools. This is the weapon.
No weapons allowed. Okay, now let me beat the ever-living shit out of you with a friggin' chalk eraser.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, your clipboard, that pencil, that pen.
Oh, those are very effective weapons, especially when you're walking around a factory trying to look like you're not goofing off.
Your 5-year-old that won't shut the hell up.
Hammer!
I have been known to pick up a motherfucker and beat another motherfucker with him.
Thank you, George. Looks like a traffic accident to me, Bob. It must have been moving at a hell of a clip. What was the one from? What was the one from Lemmings? Better let me have the other lid. If you haven't seen the movie version of Lemmings, I think that was that the Harvard Lampoon or National Lampoon? I'm not sure which. It had a lot of people from Saturday Night Live, Second City, and Fridays on it. Basically, it's a parody of Woodstock. Oh, and I think a couple of people that were in Spinal Tap were in it too.
So basically, you're saying the usual suspects.
Pretty much, yeah. Bunch of comedians getting creative.
It's hard not to laugh. It's hard not to laugh when the people behind Spinal Tap, A Mighty Wind, Best in Show, and all those movies, you just get together and it's like, how can we screw with somebody now? I know.
What?
Let's make a movie about dog shows. How are we going to make that funny? Hello?
Been one?
Give us a minute. We'll think of something. Oh, Kitty, that's a good point. What is it? Thesis is always saying, don't piss off the healers because they know how you're put together and they know the most efficient way to take you out. I probably would have said take you apart rather than take you out, but
that's almost a direct quote.
So many years ago, Richie studied to become a EMT, and I was certified for a while too. And the thing is, you had to learn how somebody was wounded to figure out how to properly take care of them. And that's also where I learned the best piece of advice when it comes to both teaching and learning is any idiot can learn how to do something. It takes a master to figure out why you do something. Figure out the why, and then you'll come into a situation that'll look like you should do it one way, but as you start running the numbers, you're like, nope, if we do it that way, we're going to kill them. And so many things in so many places nowadays go on about find your why. I think I wrote about it a little bit. I just saw the little spinny discs. But find your why. Find your why in whatever you're doing. One, you'll find out if you want to do it and if you're meant to do it and if you're going to love doing it. And then two, you find out the right way to get shit done so you don't have as much headache and heartache behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, I ended up as a trainer. So, teaching people the why, not just the how.
I think the most difficult thing I've ever had to do in my life is trying to explain to somebody the way I go about planning how to do something, whether it's some simple thing like building a shelf or putting the roof on the barbecue grill patio or whatever. I have to know what steps need to come first, so I don't have to redo anything when I found out I screwed up and started in the middle. And from the outside, it looks like you just nail shit together and then it's done. I'm going, yeah, but I need to know how long the shit's supposed to be and how big a nail to use and whether or not it's braced correctly so I don't knock it down while I'm trying to drive a nail.
How much it's going to support, where it's going to sit, is it going to hang?
Am I going to have to go get it out of the neighbor's field after a windstorm?
Yeah,
Lindsay?
trying to explain my mental process scares people.
I don't think I've actually frightened anybody, but there's a lot of things that go through my mind that never passes my lips. Unless I'm alone in traffic, then I go ahead and say it out loud because there's nobody there to hear me.
More than once when I was working at NDOT, I had people come up to me and go, you post some really interesting stuff on Facebook. I go, yeah, and you should see the stuff I don't.
Exactly. One of the hardest things I've ever had to learn is keeping my mouth shut.
What's the first thing that goes through your mind if you're not wearing your seatbelt when you get into a traffic accident at 100 miles an hour?
Usually
The
the
windshield.
But what's the last thing on a bug's mind when it hits your windshield?
My ass.
It's asshole.
Yep.
I actually pulled that with somebody in the car one day. We're driving down the road, bug splats on the windshield. I look up and go, well, guess he just said windshield? My ass. Turned on the windshield wipers, squirted the washers a few times. Good to go. Oh yes, now I remember when that was. That was the day that people kept me awake for 36 hours. And I was driving.
Ooh.
Yeah. When I suffer from sleep deprivation, I become a stand-up comic. Or a sit-down comic, actually.
Fall down comic.
My sense of the absurd comes to the fore. And believe me, I've seen a lot of absurd in my lifetime. Yeah, Foxy, I do not want to stay awake for 36 hours anymore. The first 20 might be fun, but after that, and I was young then. Good Lord, I don't think I could do it now. I'm doing good to stay awake after I eat supper. Well, I did that yesterday. Had fettuccine Alfredo with chicken and mushrooms. Sit here in the chair. Tried to watch a video. Woke up about every 5 minutes while the video was on. Soon as it was off, I went. I don't even remember whose video that was. That's what it was about. Oh yeah, it was. My wife made it. Lindsay's a great cook. Absolutely. Well, you can look at my waistline and believe me, that ain't all beer. I was painfully skinny when she found me. Didn't take her long to get me back up to fighting weight. Didn't take her long to get me way past fighting weight. Well, I need
One
to.
time, I accidentally spent like 24 hours sleep, more than 24 hours sleep deprivation, and it was during a convention.
Oh,
I anticipated sleeping the Saturday night of the convention, but I had a friend that was basically doing a hotel lobby party, and it was one of my convention roommates. So me and another friend who was rooming with us at the time, we went down to the lobby. We just hung out. Um, Met a drunk Uncle Fester cosplayer who dropped his bottle of vodka on the lobby floor. It was like, okay, party's over. Let's clean this up. We don't
oh
want the
yeah.
security mad at us or anything like that. And as we were about to go back to our rooms, we catch up with I had that same friend who was um, running the lobby party. We ended up running into a new friend of his. So a couple of new friends of his. So we go up and hang out in their room and chat a little bit. I made quick friends with this person we met at the convention, and we just clicked like that. Became pretty good friends after the convention. But after all that was done, we still had ended up um, uh, oh just hanging out until the sun rose, and we're like, okay, there's no way we'll be able to get some sleep. We gotta get our stuff packed up and ready for checkout. So we did, and I had gotten myself sitting down a little bit, just, helping promote another convention, and I just felt dizzy from the sleep deprivation that I had to sit down, like in one of the more comfortable chairs. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do that again.
Mm.
But that I had to sit and nap a little bit, get some rest. But, I mean, it was worth it, but honestly, the sleep deprivation and nearly passing out from it really
It
sucked.
it's not as fun as people make it out to be sometimes.
Mm-mm.
Um, oh, speaking of conventions, I've been to several where there's always somebody that spends the entire convention sitting in the lobby reading a book, never interacting with anybody. And they show up year
Mm.
after year after year, and that's all they do. They sit in the lobby, they're reading a book, they never talk to anybody, they never go to a panel, they never go to a room party. That's it.
Well,
I'm
maybe
going,
their significant others, the one at the convention, and they're just waiting for them.
not really. I mean,
Hmm.
they were a well-known personality. That's what they were famous for, is sitting in the lobby and reading a book, and that was their entire joy from the convention. Uh, that is a convention stereotype, actually. Um, like the stereotype of who's going to win the costume contest is whoever is uh
Skimpiest dressed.
no, the blonde in the wedding dress claiming she's Galadriel or whatever. Uh, it doesn't matter how much work everybody else has put into their costumes. The celebrity
I was gonna
judges,
say if it's the blonde dress the skimpiest, then wouldn't that be Pika?
Oh,
I did specify good-looking blonde.
I don't think he's blonde.
I don't know. I haven't looked at him that much.
You almost owed me a keyboard, Richie.
I love you, Aunt Donna.
I love you too.
I'm going to have to take 3 steps and get another beer. Uh,
My sci-fi group used to do security for a local sci-fi con, and I could pretty much count on getting up on Saturday morning and not getting any sleep until the ride home Sunday night. There's just too much going on. Yes, Dan.
I
Did you
remember
think
one.
about it?
I remember one convention where some folks complained about a fairly tall dude that was walking down the hallways, jumping up in the air like a basketball player and slapping the chandeliers as he went past and knocked a couple of the little glass
Oh man.
danglies off of them. And
Yeah.
they went to report that to convention security. Guess who was the head of convention security?
You?
No,
Oh.
the
Delusional
guy
motherfuckers
slapping the
like this.
chandeliers.
Oh.
I don't think that
man.
problem got addressed very quickly.
You're right.
Oh Lord, heavens! We did have one guy that was he spent all his time in the game room, playing all kinds of games, board games, card games, little war games with the figurines and everything. And one day we woke up. It was about like Sunday morning. Found out they had to call an ambulance for him because he stayed awake from Thursday afternoon until he passed out Sunday morning.
Oh my gosh.
wow.
Yeah. He was a hefty fellow. Was suffering from diabetes too, and should have been taking much better care of himself, but he just did not want to quit gaming for the entire convention. And they brought him back in Sunday afternoon from the hospital, and basically he got dehydrated with, I don't know, I guess he had like 2 cases of 3-liter Mountain Dews right next to him, but he just didn't drink enough fluids, didn't eat enough, didn't sleep. But that was all he wanted to do. Unfortunately, about 5 years later, the diabetes caught up with him and he passed away. He had learned to take better care of himself, but unfortunately, he'd been pushing his body since he was very young, and there just wasn't enough self-care in that time that he had learned his lesson till he ran out of time. Still miss him. Extremely fun fellow. If you wanted to know anything about ebooks, he could tell you anything and everything. He'd buy ebooks and recode them. He did not like formatting of some ebook uh, formats, so he would convert them to something he liked and do it all paragraph indents, chapter headings, redo the page numbers, redo the table of contents, all this, just because the way that they are published in 3 or 4 different formats, none of them matched his, for want of a better word, tism. And I learned that one from the Unsubscribed podcast. Uh, those guys are very proud of having made successes out of monopolizing their different forms of autism. Breathe, Daniel. They are totally unashamed, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't be either. One guy knows everything there is to know about cameras, lighting, uh, microphones, and video recording, and he's right there on it. Somebody can pull out a cell phone, he'll tell them what kind of camera is in it, what it's capable of. It's just right off the top of his head. Doesn't have to look anything up. Well, enough about that. That's just stuff I watch for fun. Hey, I'm weird. I don't care.
We know you are, and we don't care either.
I like boats, and I don't have one. So
Oh, Joe, no shot.
Yeah, I know.
We've got 13 minutes to go.
I can do it. I have faith in myself.
It's all a matter of willpower.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with being a bit weird. No, not at all. I do not suffer from being weird. I actually enjoy it. I revel in it. I rejoice in it. And sometimes I run up against people who really define the term mundane as an insult.
I don't know.
Well, not any of y'all.
See, I don't suffer from being weird. My friends suffer from me being weird.
Are you talking about being mundane?
Oh.
My nephew informed me that I was boring, and I'm like, you don't know what I've done. I deserve some boring in my life now.
You don't know what I get up to when you ain't around.
Well, there's that too. I'm getting old. I need some boring in my life. Settle down once in a while. Hey, baby girl.
Where's the fun in that?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little chair time.
I'll give you another 20 years and then get back to me on that, Joe.
Oh.
I have a little black shark circling me.
I had the dog behind the chair, and I rolled the chair back a little bit, and she got up and ran away. I'm going, Damn, when did you sneak up on me? Wolf jeans.
Hey, baby girl.
Not just for European women anymore.
Oh, Richie's power went out.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
Mm.
Well, he did make a sudden and precipitous exit, so
Mm-hmm.
okay, something's wrong. I pronounced that word correctly.
yeah.
Didn't expect y'all to be in an area losing power before me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We're a whole lot closer to Storm Central right now.
For some reason, it almost seems like that apartment complex loses power a lot more than it should.
Okay, that makes sense. I bet they were. Well, I started to say not built to code, but it's an apartment complex. That goes without saying.
Why is Foxy humming the Jaws theme?
Because you got a shark circling around your chair.
Oh,
You made the
oh,
joke.
duh. It's late. I'm old. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to having to fight two cats for a spot in bed.
That's why Carl has 3 beds in his room.
I
So
wondered if
Rich got bounced.
Yep.
had a power outage.
Okay. I just got power bounced, and I thought, oh shit, let me go help him shut the show down.
Nope, not me. It was Richie.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Well, y'all made me put pants on for nothing.
What's this y'all stuff? That was Rich that made you put on pants.
Yeah, take it up with him. I'd pay money to see that.
We'll be seeing that in about how many days now, Joe? Joe Dog?
Yeah, let me look at the calendar real quick.
Dan has a countdown thingy. He can
Yeah,
tell
but
us.
I ain't pulling it up right now. It takes too long for that program to start.
29 days.
That means I got to
Carl's already-
unload all the crap out of the van.
You better get with it. Carl's already packed.
Nope.
Oh, we're
There we
There he
packed.
is.
We're packed. I just had to pull tools and all kinds of stuff out of the van. I've been using it for a tool shed. It's right there where I do the work. So your power went out, huh?
Yeah, for about 30 seconds. Just long enough to fuck everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I wasn't running a print.
Yeah.
I hate it when that happens. The power goes out just long enough to where the computer reboots itself, but you got to go reset every digital clock in the house.
And that's why most of mine are not set to the proper time anymore.
We've got
That's why all mine update automatically.
We've got ones with a battery backup. It shouldn't happen. They should come back to the right time. We changed the batteries.
Did you put them in the correct way?
It's hard to put a 9-volt in the wrong way.
I've known people.
Did you change them to fresh batteries?
I don't know. They were a little bit salty when I opened the package.
All right. Well, I thought Rich, when I got the message, I thought, oh shit, Dan's out of power. All right, I'll be in here. Got up and put pants on for nothing. Just because of you.
Don't put pants on anymore. I mean, jeez.
Oh, shit, he completely left.
The power might have gone off again.
Power's supposed to go out for us, not you.
What did I
We're
make
the
you
ones.
do?
I live in LaPorte, Indiana. For some reason, the weather that's supposed to go other places in the world ends up here.
Good night, everybody.
Good idea.
Good night,
Good
Joe
dog.
If there's a bright center to the universe, LaPorte, Indiana is the point that it's farthest from. Is that right, Richie?
Somewhat, yeah.
Well, the way I feel about Atlanta, if the universe needed an enema, Atlanta's where they'd stick the hose.
Oh my.
Hey, and I have friends that live in Atlanta that agree with that sentiment. I'm going, why do you live there? It's cheaper than driving 6 hours to get to work. You need a better job.
God, just I want to do that now.
God.
I
You have a granite enema?
No. I want to get a supply of tungsten rings, weave a male shirt out of it, and then tell somebody it's aluminum.
Richie, there's a very, very special place in hell for you.
Do you know how expensive tungsten is?
And it would be worth every penny, depending on who I could get that with.
Oh. Well, folks, we are moving right on up there to that time again. I do not know why the color balance is so off on that recording that Joe Dog gave me. I found the original, but I would have to download it from YouTube, edit out 27 commercials for a 7-second clip.
You don't want to do that?
It'd take almost 12 hours to download 20 seconds
crap.
from YouTube. Even if you do it at the lowest video setting, they do not want to give up their recordings. Matter of fact, the easiest way to do it would be to get a paid YouTube membership. And I'm going, I need that about like I need another car wreck in the front yard. Oh, no, thank you.
Well, it's time to say goodnight, Gracie.
Yes, it is.
Good
Well,
night,
folks
Gracie.
at home, thank you very much for being with us. We will see you again, hopefully Saturday night. We will see most of us here tomorrow night, but that will be a private party that nobody else gets invited to. So, oh, please do check out ndcd.org, where all of the creative types hang out, at least if you're in this group.
So
Kiri,
much fun that we couldn't do it as a .com. It had to be a .org.
Kiri, you got any place that you hang out online you want to pimp?
Just the Twitch streams
Where's my money?
nowadays.
Well, tell everybody where your Twitch stream is then.
Well, y'all can go visit at my Twitch stream. Kiri Bloodrose is my handle on there. And if you like feral, unhinged VTubers, that's the perfect show for you.
There you go. All right, folks, let me switch over to the other thing here. Whoa, there we go.
Thing two.
Hit the button and got a blank screen. I'm going, what did your dog do?
Uh-oh.
What didn't you do?
All the videos are gone. All right. As Chris would say, here comes a bedtime story. Go, good guys.
No.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.